You've worked very hard to craft your brand description. Today, we're going to do some exercises that are going to ensure that that messaging appeals to your target audience. Who's your target audience? Well, really your clients, your customers, your colleagues, even your assistant, your bosses, anybody who's in your sphere of influence and can either make or break your career success. Now, anytime that I work for a company, I always do a careful analysis on who their target audience is. It's really the golden rule of marketing to know your target audience inside and out. And that's why there's so much research done by major brands to figure out who's buying into their product and who are the prospects that can increase their revenue. And when you do this careful analysis, you have to answer these burning questions. First of all, who is your target audience? That's the key question. In your workbook, I want you to make a list of everyone who is going to either buy into your product or help promote your product. For me, my target audience is you and any company that wants me to help them reinvent themselves. So that's who my target audience is. The next question is, where is your target audience? My target audience is at trade shows and they're online. But where's yours? Are they driving down the street on the way to your business? Are they watching TV? Are they reading the newspaper? Think of everywhere where your target audience is and what type of media they consume. Another question that's very important to ask yourself is, how do they perceive my brand? When you look at your testimonials and your recommendations, reviews you might have had with a boss, maybe a letter that was written after you finished a project, look at the perception of what your target audience thinks about you. And then flip that around and write sort of an aspirational quote of what a client or a colleague or your boss might say about you after having a perfect meeting with you where everything went right. Putting that in a quote is like looking towards the end game in life. It's so important. Who is competing for your target audience's loyalty? In other words, who's in the competitive landscape? If you're going after a job or trying to get a promotion, who are those people that you're competing against? How are you different? And if it's a business that you're starting or reinventing, who are the other competitors that you need to deal with? Look at their brand descriptions by going to their websites and see, again, how are you and how is your business different? And the final question is, how are you going to attract this target audience to your brand? Think about your logo, your business cards, your website, your social media presence, billboards, advertising, everything that you think could touch that customer. Start thinking about how you can put messages out there that really grab them and speak to them in their language. My secret to finding customers has always been to go to trade shows. This is where my target audience lives, be it the National Cable Show or the Cable Television Marketing Association's annual conference. It's a showcase for technology and for cable programming. So everyone who loves television is in one place, and this is where I do my schmoozing. It's really taking networking to an art form. I started over 20 years ago going to these shows when I was an employee for Turner Broadcasting. And at those shows, I would work the convention floor. And during the networking events at night and at lunches, I would introduce myself to colleagues at other networks, competitors. I was truly interested in how their jobs functioned and what their challenges were day to day. And I made a lot of friends in the industry. So when it was time for me to leave Turner and to start my own company, I asked some of those friends if they would hire me as a consultant for their companies. And lo and behold, before I left Turner, I had 2 clients already lined up, giving me the financial underpinning to take the leap. And the leap I took. And I still go to those cable shows 20 years later to help build my brand and to continue to create a renewed value proposition for my company. So what's today's Reinvent Yourself secret? Do a 180-degree turn and stand in the shoes of the people you're trying to influence, and then answer this question: what's in it for me? See you back here tomorrow.